Hello world, and thank you for tuning in. Today I'm discussing Pisces Moon through the houses of the birth chart for a super deep insight into your emotional personality. So this will be super helpful for you, so get ready to rumble. I am Lika and you are watching Platonic Dreams. Alright guys, before we start with the 12 houses, just so you know, I have included timestamps so you can jump to your specific placement if you wish. Also, if you want to find out the position of the moon in your birth chart, go to astrocharts.com. I have included a link in the description box below, and there you will see your birth chart, and also down below you will see it listed in more like a chart, not in the circular way, but just listed. Yes, I've also made a video where I go in depth about the Pisces Moon in general, so go check that out. Together with this video, you will get a profound understanding of your emotional nature and your needs. Every birth chart consists of 12 houses. You can also think of them as segments. And each house or segment is ruled by a different sign and relates to a specific area of your life and your experience on Earth. The house in which your moon is located will be an area of your life where you seek emotional satisfaction and validation. This area of your life will be of special importance to you, and depending on the aspects that your moon makes to other planets, it can also be one of the more challenging or most challenging areas of your life. It will also be an area of life where you experience the most frequent changes and fluctuations because of the changeable nature of the moon. The moon, it waxes and wanes, it goes light, it goes dark, and this will be reflected in your experience of this area of life, as above, so below. If you want me to go deeper into the topic of houses, aspects, the birth chart in general, and also basic beginner knowledge, let me know in the comments and I will make a video on that. Now let's start with the Pisces Moon through the houses. Use the timestamps in the descriptions if you like. Okay, Pisces Moon in the first house of self. So the first house is your body and your personality. It's how you project yourself out into the world. With this placement, you will be a poster child for the Pisces Moon, because the Pisces Moon will just be written all over your face. You cannot hide. You will wear your heart on your sleeve. You are very emotional. You cry easily, I guess. You are very sensitive, very maternal, very nurturing. You are emotionally extremely open and very vulnerable. It is impossible to hide your emotions, which are in a constant state of flux. And this is why you can appear very moody. Because Pisces is a mutable sign, you can appear elusive. You can seem to be different things to different people because you are very adaptable in your nature. You will definitely be very gentle, very charming, delicate and kind. You are radiating lunar qualities, and you have a childlike openness to you that is very attractive to other people and very inviting. Appearance-wise, you probably have very beautiful, deep, watery, maybe blue eyes, like ocean eyes, like Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is not a Pisces Moon, but she's Pisces rising. And yeah, you could have a similar appearance to your eyes, to your look. You have a very, very high emotional intelligence. You know how to make other people feel comfortable, how to make them feel seen and heard. You are very accommodating, and you want to be liked, and you like to be needed. And you use your very fine-tuned antennas to anticipate the needs of others. But your perception of the environment can be very subjective, also prone to illusions and deceptions. This is why this placement can make for a bit of a gullible person. All in all, you're more a feeler rather than a thinker. You have this deep intuitive inner guidance. You have like a sort of like an animal-like intelligence. You are able to sniff out opportunities, and your approach is not so much intellectual or rational, it's more instinctual. Like you approach the world through this instinctual lens and this intuitive guidance. You might have this some sort of moody confusion about how to approach physical life, and you probably have a lack of direction and assertiveness. After all, the first house is the natural house of Aries. Aries is the house of, it's ruled by Mars. It's a very assertive and self-directed sign, and it's the first sign of the zodiac, and Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. Pisces is all about so Aries is about asserting the self in this world, and Pisces is about dissolving the self. So you can see that can be a bit of a contradiction, confusion, conflict. But it also makes you very humble, very modest. You might fall into self-sacrifice though. So be careful who you surround yourself with, because you will be very, very, very open to everybody who's around you. So if you're not careful, you might be used by shit people. Definitely keep an eye out for that. It's definitely a great placement for any kind of caregiving role. Healers, teachers, also actors. Oh my God, actors, amazing actors, I guess, because this adaptability, mutability of Pisces in your first house of self. I can imagine you being able to just to just go into other roles and like really feel into another role and then embody it, because your sense of self is so porous. Or never mind. Great actors. Also like performance art, everything. So all in all, it's a very warm, intuitive placement. You are great with people, and you will probably be an amazing parent. If you work on your boundaries and you work on standing up for yourself, or you learn how to stand up for yourself, you can have very fulfilling relationships and friendships. And this is a very, very beautiful, warm, soft placement. And all the best to you. Okay. If you have your Pisces Moon in the second house, the second house rules disposable income, your values, your self-esteem, and your self-worth. The Pisces Moon here will affect your feelings about money, your values, your career, and your self-esteem. It is really important that you find a job that is emotionally and spiritually fulfilling to you. That's very important for your mental health. You will probably have a spiritual or careless approach to everything that's material or financial. The house of the moon is where we experience our biggest ups and downs. So probably your finances are in a constant state of flux. Your spending habits may vary greatly, depending on your mood, and your self-worth goes also up and down. So this will be kind of like a lifelong task to bring balance and stability into that area. Also, never forget to look at your aspects, because these will influence the expression of your moon a lot. You might find it hard to take your finances seriously, and you can definitely fall prey to schemes and financial fraud because you trust too much. And you also tend to have this careless approach and be like, whatever. But watch out for that, because also your emotional balance is also dependent on how safe you feel financially, and how much you are in your values, and how much you feel settled in your own values and your core beliefs. So also watch out for shopping addictions, for emotional or impulsive overspending, because that can also happen, that as soon as you feel like out of balance, you start spending money, and it just goes and goes and goes. Stressful aspects, as I said, like squares and oppositions, can also show insecurity in childhood, around self-worth and a feeling of never having enough, not enough money, not enough love, stuff like that. You are probably very generous, and you probably have your own unique philosophy about material possessions and material acquisition. I can imagine you really being into manifestation and having this mindset of the universe will provide, which actually can work really well for you or for other people as well. I really do believe in manifestation, but I also believe that manifestation can also only work if we don't have negative subconscious core beliefs. So as I said, if you have like those stressful aspects and in your childhood you kind of had this feeling of never having enough or feeling insecure in materially or when it comes to self-worth, then probably if you haven't worked on that, probably you have this as a negative core belief that you might not be it might not be conscious. So in this case, you can have affirmations all you like. You can say I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich every day, but your subconscious will always win. So if you subconsciously harbor any negative core beliefs that you're not aware of, these will definitely affect your reality. So work on these first, and then you can definitely plunge yourself into all the manifestation, and then you can definitely manifest your dream life, your security, and everything you want. Yeah, probably also material things could have quite a sentimental value to you. You might even be a hoarder or collector. Yeah, so watch out for that maybe a little bit. Don't know. The second house is the house of possession, so it might be hard for you to let go of things because they have such a high sentimental value, not because you are so materialistic, but because you put so much emotion and meaning into them. Yeah, and this house of possession, yeah, this also extends to people, so it might be very hard for you to let go of people. You might be very jealous, although that's not a typical Piscean trait. It's not a typical Piscean trait, but if you have many Taurus or Scorpio placements, like Venus in Taurus or Venus in Scorpio, I mean, yeah, this could be a problem, so maybe work on that a little bit. Yeah, you can make the most money with creativity, like music or crafts, etc. You can make money with spirituality and all professions that need an empathetic approach, like healers or nurses, doctors. Yeah, this could be your jam. Okay, if you have your Pisces Moon in the third house is the house of communication, early school years, and siblings. With this placement, it's like telepathy. You can understand both the emotions and thought processes of others extremely well. You can just tune into the mind of another person. Yeah, if you have siblings, you will be very, very attached to them. You will have a very deep bond to them. Probably, except like you always have to watch if you have other planets in the third house. This will all mitigate that, but just speaking about the moon, you will have very deep bond to your siblings. Yeah, the Pisces Moon. If you have Pisces Moon in the third house, the Pisces Moon takes over the mind and the interaction with the immediate environment. So your communications and your thoughts are heavily influenced by your emotions and your mood. This might be a blessing or a curse because it can lead to an endless spiral of negative thoughts on a day, like on a bad day. But it also enables you to tap into the boundless creativity of the Piscean ocean. So you might have exceptional writing and storytelling skills and a very visual and mystical writing style. For example, Tolkien, the writer of Lord of the Rings, he had his moon in Pisces. Not in the third house, I think, because his exact birth time isn't known, but he had his moon in Pisces. And if you have read his books or watched the movies, yeah, man, he had quite a mystical imagination. You are with a moon with third house moon in Pisces, you are a perfect channel for the mysterious depth of Neptune. You can give form and words to the mysteries of the universe and the human imagination. And you can understand the language and feeling. You can understand the language of feeling and emotion, and you are able to masterfully articulate your imagination and your thoughts. You inspire others with your ideas, and you have a great ability to see the big pictures and to solve problems holistically. So yeah, jobs wise, you can work as teachers, definitely. Of course, also writers. This is amazing. And songwriting, poetry, anything that involves creative solution finding, creative thinking, everything with communication. You could probably have a bomb-ass YouTube channel where you communicate your ideas or whatever. Yeah, very, very interesting because, yeah, as I said, the third house is our mind, our thinking processes. So, a Pisces moon is such a deep moon sign, and yeah, if you are balanced and emotionally healthy, you can achieve amazing things, and I wish you all the best, and I believe in you. Okay, if you have your Pisces moon in the fourth house, then the Pisces moon is tucked away at the very core of your being. The fourth house represents our home, our privacy, our early childhood. It's the darkest and lowest and most hidden area of the chart. So it's yeah, literally the part that is the most hidden and tucked away. For your emotional safety, you turn to your home, your family, and your roots or national heritage. You deeply crave for a sense of belonging, and you are very emotional, very sensitive, and very, very deep. This is truly the bottom of the ocean. That's how deep you are. You can have periods of depression and low moods. Your emotions fluctuate a lot. And you have a very strong need for emotional security, but you probably grew up in a home that was confusing, deceptive. There were no clear boundaries, maybe even addictions in the family. Definitely look at the aspects that your moon makes to other planets. This will tell you a lot. You might have felt disconnected from your family in childhood. Maybe you were very dissociated, and now you might find it hard to see your childhood objectively. Maybe to protect yourself, you started to idealize your home life, your parents. There might be deep trauma that needs to be uncovered and healed and worked through. Definitely think about that. You probably have a very, very deep and psychic bond with your mother, which can be suppressed or unconscious. The relationship with your mother will really depend on aspects, or the aspects will tell about relationship to your mother. So yeah, if there was some trauma, work on that. As a parent yourself, you are very caring and devoted. You would sacrifice a lot for your children. If you are emotionally healthy and balanced, you can be the most beautiful parent. Yeah, living close to the water or being by the water can be very healing for you. So I would definitely recommend that if you can, or at least some vacations or going to the lake. This will really do you good. Also home decor, because the fourth house is also like our our home. So home decor and comfort will be very important to you. So take care of your home. This will just affect your mood a lot. Just create an artistic, harmonious home that will feel like a retreat from the world for you. Work-wise, you can work as a nurse. Yeah, nursing people would just come so natural to you. You can be a stay-at-home parent, a historian, home decorator, working with children or the elderly. I mean, you have tons of gifts, but I would say what I find to be like your most beautiful gift is your deep emotionality and your empathy. And I can really see you working with people who have nobody and who really need help, and who could really use a loving soul by their side. So yeah, I can really imagine that. So yeah, as a last tip, I would say please don't neglect your shadow work, because this is such a repressed or such a hidden part of our chart, and you have your emotions there. It's really important that you uncover everything that's in the dark. Try to uncover any repressed childhood memory, childhood trauma. Do embodiment work, somatic healing, so heal your psyche through the body. Do talk therapy, creative therapy. Yeah, maybe you are very disassociated a lot, so learn how to ground yourself. And yeah, definitely watch my video that I did about the Pisces Moon in general, because I give a lot of self-care tips and advices there. So yeah, I hope that helps you. Right, if you have your Pisces Moon in the 5th house, the 5th house is the house of creativity, of fun, play, casual sex, children, sport, like all the nice, juicy parts of life, everything that brings us a smile. That's the 5th house. It's the house of Leo. You people are unbelievably creative and imaginative. Just wow. Just wow. And also you have the ability to use your trauma or your pain or your difficult childhood, and you can transmute it into art and inspiration to benefit the healing and care of others. You are very dramatic, very entertaining. This is more of an extroverted position for the Pisces Moon, more so than others. It's great for actors, great for entertainers. Yeah, I'm a bit jealous. You have a strong emotional need to enjoy life and the things you do. So you seek emotional fulfillment in pleasure and fun, and you definitely do take pleasure and fun seriously. Yeah, you have a deep need for romance, for dating, play, and all fun things of life. You are also intuitively great with kids, because you have this childlike quality that you will keep throughout life. You can tap into the wisdom of the child really well, I think. But you can also be prone to wishful thinking. You very much want to believe in eternal romance. You sometimes do not want to see the more boring side of life or the more mundane side of things, or also the not so great parts of others or in yourself. So yeah, you might be caught in your own romantic bubble a little bit. Also depends on your other placements a lot and your other planets, but yes, could be. But on the other hand, this is great for everybody who, for creative people who create art, because you can really dream and wish and imagine. And yeah, because the 5th house also speaks of our firstborn child. Your firstborn child will probably be very artistic, very gentle, and compassionate. So yeah, keep on being great, keep on doing your art, and keep on inspiring others with your dreams and your nice, fun, childlike approach. Okay, if you have your Pisces Moon in the 6th house of service, the 6th house is ruled by Virgo, and it corresponds with health, wellness, daily routine, and small jobs like side hustles, not your overall career that you work towards, more like the side hustles. Our body at birth is the first house, but the body that you created through your habits and your choices throughout life is in the sixth. So you approach life with a quiet underlying spirituality and with sensitivity and imagination. It's like you bring the Piscean magic into daily life. You bring a warm touch to your work and routine, and you are very intuitive and talented in working with customers or clients or patients. This just comes very natural to you, but your mood will be very, very affected and affected by and linked to your daily life. So your co-workers could experience you as being very moody, especially if you struggle with health issues or if you are unhappy in your job. This will influence your mental processes and emotions a lot. So definitely try to take preventative measures. So what I mean, like if you are unhealthy, this will definitely affect your emotions. And if your emotions are a bit out of balance and you don't feel happy, this will be reflected in your physical health. So this will be very, even more so than in others, it will be linked for you. And so just take it as a little like signal, like bing, 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 watch out, something's wrong. You find purpose through service to others, and you work hard to offer support and help to those who need it. Because the sixth house is the house of Virgo. Virgo is the sign of service, and it's your opposite sign as well. So you have a very strong emotional attachment to daily life, to your health and to work life, and you have a very strong desire to help others. Definitely be careful with your boundaries, because you are prone to be used by others, because it is so hard for you to say no. So you have this service mentality, not like a servant, but you do believe in, and you see the goodness in service and in the act of, for you it's an act of kindness, and others could very well take advantage of that. So don't let that happen too much. Also, your work can become a coping mechanism. So you might plunge yourself into work or into routines or health routines, whatever, to not deal with your emotionality. So watch out for that. Generally you will probably dedicate your life to the service to others, to care. You will probably have a caretaking career, in the helping professions, and you might be passionately involved in charity work or volunteering somewhere. This might make you very, very happy and fulfill you. But health concerns will probably always be an issue for you, and sometimes those health problems can be rooted psychologically. So if you have vague symptoms, like weird symptoms for no apparent reason, then you might struggle with a psychosomatic illness, which is caused by stress, and you are prone to stress. So your body is very sensitive to any mental imbalance, and your emotions depend upon how good and healthy you feel. So take care of yourself, take care of your body, but don't become a hypochondriac, or watch out for that tendency, because that can happen. It's like, I think your task in life will be to find a healthy balance between routine and relaxation and work and leisure and service, and also self-service. So keep that in mind. And I think it's beautiful how you have this ideal of giving yourself to service and help humanity, help others. I think that's very beautiful. So take care of your health, take care of your body, and stay grounded and maybe meditate. Yes. If you have your Pisces moon in the 7th house, the 7th house is the house of partnerships, of relationships. So it's the house of the other. It's not only your romantic relationships, it's also business partnerships. The 7th house is the first house where we kind of in our evolution realize that there's the other, and now we are trying to build a bridge. So this is what the 7th house is all about. You are seeking emotional security, which is symbolized by the moon, in relationships. Through dissolving boundaries, which would be more unhealthy, or through compassionate giving and empathy, which is more the healthy expression. So Pisces moon can either go to dissolving all the boundaries, or it can, if it's a bit stronger and healthier, it can just really be able to live compassion and empathy. So you expect dedication, support, sacrifice, and compassion in close relationships. And you need a very caring, sensitive, and imaginative partner to blossom into your into your best self. You are very, very emotionally involved in a relationship, and they will always be a major focus in your life. They will always be very, very important to you. Aspects that your moon makes to other planets will be important in order to understand your relationship dynamic a bit better. So there is a possibility that you will be stuck in toxic relationships, not being able to let go, becoming too dependent, becoming codependent, idealizing the partner, or hiding behind the relationship, hiding from the real world. So because Pisces moons are really craving oneness and unity. Pisces moons are craving the dissolution of boundaries, which can turn out pretty toxic and dangerous if it is directed at the relationship instead of at God or at spirituality. So be careful who you direct that towards. So yeah, since you are prone to shape-shifting, Pisces moon, mutable, very adaptable, wants to be liked and needed. So this is why you might just shape-shift. You feel what others expect of you, especially your partner, and you morph yourself into that. So you're prone to just adjusting your own needs and desires to that of your partner. So you should definitely try and learn how to stay true to your individuality and your ego independence, and yet remain a close bond. But yeah, generally you're very charming. You have a strong desire to be liked. You definitely have a very, very beautiful quality about you, but remember that you only need to live up to your own expectations, and remember to stay true to yourself. That's really important. And also your challenge is to see your partner and your relationships clearly. You are prone to illusions, to wishful thinking, so watch out for being deceived and lied to. Try to keep an objective approach. Maybe you can even ask friends how they perceive your partner, not because now you try to be dependent on your friend's opinion, but just to sometimes counter check, just check yourself a little bit. But yeah, your gifts are your high emotional intelligence and your creative charm and your uniqueness in relationships and your rich imagination. So I mean, if you work on your boundaries a little bit, you can really excuse me, you can really form beautiful relationships very deep bonds, and you can really see the beautiful qualities in others, I think. But you need to take care of yourself. You need to stay true to yourself, and also sometimes the seventh house can also be about projecting. So you might see, like, it depends on how much self-love you have, because sometimes what we have in our seventh house, it's qualities that we have ourselves, but we don't see them in ourselves. We see them in the other. We project them onto the other. So you might either project your shadow onto the other people, or your beautiful qualities onto other people, and neglect them in yourself, and not be able to see yourself also clearly. So yeah, maybe you can work on that a little bit. But yeah, it's a beautiful placement, and I wish you beautiful relationships, and all the best to you. If you have the Pisces Moon in the 8th house, you are seeking emotional safety and fulfillment in 8th house matters, which are death, sex, and transformation. You are drawn to supernatural and occult topics, and intense emotional encounters, and deep personal transformation. I think this is a really deep transformative placement. You have a mysterious quality to you, and you are very likely to have psychic abilities, like extremely high intuition, maybe even mediumship, or maybe you are clairvoyant, claircognizant. Maybe you can develop those abilities. Maybe you've never heard about that, but maybe it rings a bell and you want to research it a little bit. Then go ahead, because I can definitely imagine you having that gift. You are a born psychologist. You have an unmatched emotional intelligence, and you can, I can imagine you working with dying people who are going through some sort of transformation, because you intuitively understand that the process of transformation and of alchemy. It just comes intuitively to you. You can also develop great healing powers. You can be energy healer, Reiki master, tarot guru, or astrologer, a sex therapist, etc. You definitely have healing powers. I don't doubt it. But you can also be self-destructive. You can be overly protective. You can be very guarded and private and secretive, because unfortunately the 8th house Pisces Moon can point to a very traumatic childhood, and you learned to hide your explosive and volatile emotions, and also your pain, to stay safe, or because that felt safest to you. Your emotional nature is heavy and quite serious, and you might feel overwhelmed at times, or afraid that others cannot deal with your intense emotional nature. So you might definitely need some therapy or some healing. If you do work on your trauma, then this placement is just pure magic, I swear. You are very attuned to the process of transformation, and this is why you know that the only constant is change. This can either liberate you or scare you. If it does scare you, then learning how to let go will be your personal task in this lifetime. Learning how to surrender and learning about power, personal power and the power of others, is your task in this lifetime. The 8th house is also the house of sex. So Pisces has no boundaries. So maybe probably during sex you are energetically merging with your sexual partner. So if you learn how to guide and direct your sexual and emotional energy, then you can have earth-shaking tantric sex, and then you can feel very emotionally and spiritually fulfilled. But it's something that, just learn about Tantra. I think it could be for you. But it can also be hard for you to define your sexual interests, and you might experience confusion and frequent ups and downs in this area of life, because where our moon is at, this area of life will be just constantly changing. We will experience a lot of ups and downs in this area of life. So yeah, definitely don't let anybody take advantage of you. Don't be talked into sex that you don't want to have. Set boundaries. So I think clear, honest, and assertive communication is key here. It's very important, especially when it comes to sexual energy. Sexual energy is sacred, and it's not about being prude. It's just, I think you, especially for people like you, you know that it's also spiritual energy. Spiritual and sexual energy is the same. And if we just go about spreading it to every person, that's not going to be very helpful. It's going to be much more conducive to our spiritual evolvement if we learn how to guide it and to really connect with somebody, and to really connect on a sexual and emotional and spiritual level. And this is how I see Tantra. So yeah, generally you crave for meaning and for intensity in your life. So if you feel like your life is lacking profound experiences and is rather banal and superficial, then you can encounter periods of depression, melancholy, and anxiety. So you should do shadow work, you should heal your trauma, you should explore your dark side to the fullest, your shadow side. Stay true to your desires, but you should also learn how to find the meaning that you crave within, without expecting too much from the outside world or from the material world. Find meaning in your spirituality, and find meaning within. Find meaning in the other realm, in the spirit. Go into deep transcendental meditation practices to explore this facet of life a bit more, and to find your profound experiences. If you work on yourself and on your trauma, you can become a true healer. Honestly, to me, you could be like a shaman. To me, like, this is the typical shamanic placement. Like, you don't have to be like a proper shaman in the woods, but something about this placement to me just screams healer. So all the best to you. I really believe in you. I think this is a very difficult but absolutely mind-blowing, beautiful placement. Take care of yourself. Get help if you feel depressed. Reach out and create those deep bonds with others that you are definitely intuitively good at. And okay, if you have the Pisces Moon in the 9th house of higher learning, teaching, travel, and philosophy, you will seek your emotional security in higher learning and wisdom. You will pursue boundless understanding and big picture thinking. This is the house of Sagittarius, which is also ruled by Jupiter, and Sagittarius is all about philosophy and understanding and expansion. You probably love to learn about spirituality, and you probably have very strong moral and religious beliefs that you can dedicate your life to, be it as a guru, as a teacher, as a priest, as a public speaker, or in charity work. You have an emotional need to explore the big questions of life, and a strong urge for spiritual and intellectual freedom. You can become fully absorbed by a topic that captures your interest, and you instinctively embrace the process of growth and expansion. You have a liberal attitude, and you value the past as a learning experiences. But conservative and traditional institutions might not be your thing, might be more of a turn off. So you might study on your own instead of going to university, because you can't really relate to those conservative institutions, and yeah, you might have more of an autodidactic approach. You will definitely be a lifelong learner forever. Learning is gonna feed your soul. Learning about spirituality is gonna feed your soul. No matter your gender, you will be sympathetic towards women, and interested in female empowerment. So I can imagine you, I don't know, creating activistic art, or writing pamphlets or manifestos, or enjoying like political art, creating political art. Yeah, I can really see you fighting for this cause. And also, please go out and travel the world. You will definitely find a lot of fulfillment in that. This will feed your soul. If you feel like you are in a rut and you don't know how to go out, how to get out of it, just I don't know, travel somewhere if you can, or travel in your mind. Do some mind expanding manifestation meditations or something. Yeah, travel. Yeah, but all in all, this is a very intelligent and very I mean, I think you probably are so interesting to talk to. I would love to sit down and have a chat over like a bottle of wine and talk about the whole universe and the world. I think you would have a lot to say. You probably read a lot of interesting books about this topic, and have a lot of thoughts about it. So yeah, I think you're a great person to talk to. You could also be a very, very inspiring teacher. So this could definitely be a profession for you. Yeah, I can see you. Like, I would love to have a teacher like you. So yeah, go ahead and keep on inspiring us, and thank you for your great work. All right, if you have your Pisces Moon in the 10th house, the 10th house is like the PR agency of the birth chart. It's our social media presence, it's how we want to be perceived, it's our career aspiration and goals, and it's the legacy. It's our legacy. So if you have your Pisces Moon in the 10th house, you have a profound intuitive understanding of what the public and the audience, or the general population, the society feels, and you understand the mood of the crowd. You just get it. This is why you can predict the reaction of the masses. You can predict mass movements, and this can be used in a professional role as PR or as politician, or to promote a cause, or also as an artist. Yeah, you have a very good timing for career opportunities, and you might even achieve some fame, even if it's only in your specialized field. But the moon in the 10th house in general can actually speak to some fame. But yeah, look at your other aspects and your placements to gain more clarity on that. Yeah. So, but still, the cyclical nature of the moon can lead to some ups and downs when it comes to your career and your public image, and your mood is very heavily linked to how others see you. You are very, very aware of how others see you, And not getting the recognition and the acceptance that you crave can result in deep hurt and resentment and in moodiness. You crave emotional feedback towards, you crave emotional feedback towards your public persona. And you could be a bit too sensitive to the public opinion. But at the same time, because you feel such a strong emotional bond with the collective, you also feel just very sympathetic to society at large. So this could also be just a very nice, and this is why you have a deep urge to contribute to social causes in a way that nurtures and inspires and fosters change in the world. And you could be very effective in that. And your career will be very important to you. And you will be, you need to find a career that you can identify yourself with. And you need to find a career that's in alignment with your values and that's true to your inner being. You also get along well with women, and you might experience that many women, or that women help you along your path to success. Your public image, you will be known as somebody who transcends boundaries and definitions, somebody who is compassionate and creative. You will be seen as a mystic, or as a dreamy artist, or as a compassionate activist. All in all, this is a very interesting placement. I think you can achieve a lot in the world. Definitely find a career that allows you to pursue your visionary and spiritual ideals. And you can be an unstoppable force, and you can be also the change that we need to see in this world. So keep on trailblazing and go ahead. If you have your Pisces Moon in the 11th house, the 11th house is the house of community and friends and future goals and dreams. You are altruistic, you are concerned with the welfare of others, and you seek emotional fulfillment in your dreams and aspirations. And you are probably fighting for a cause, and fighting for a cause will give you emotional fulfillment, and also your community of friends will be very, very important for you. This is where you will seek emotional validation and emotional fulfillment. You are a very loving and wise person. You definitely do care for the underdog, for the outcast, and for the forgotten people of society. You definitely have a big, big, big heart for everybody who doesn't receive the love from society that they deserve. I think you understand how fragile the human life is, and how fragile the psyche is, and you don't judge the people that our capitalist society sees as losers or as failures. You don't judge them. You understand that it's not easy as that. You are nice and friendly, and I guess you have a very large group of friends, I could imagine, that you care deeply about. You need to feel connected to others and to a cause. And you would thrive in a big community of like-minded people that share the same ideals and aspirations as you. So find a group, find a movement or a group or a big community of friends that will be good for you. But if your moon receives stressful aspects like squares or oppositions, sometimes also conjunctions, then it could be difficult for you to connect with others, even though this is a deep-seated need of yours. So maybe some insecurities or some fears are inhibiting you in this regard. Another difficulty could be that you find it hard to draw healthy emotional boundaries to your friends and to your social circle. So maybe you find it hard to stand up for yourself, or you shapeshift into whatever the group wants. Also, like, watch out for codependent friendships, which can happen just as much as in romantic relationships. You really want to be liked, and you really want to be needed and accepted, because also Pisces Moon is so sensitive, and this is beautiful, but yeah, don't pay the price of losing yourself entirely. Also your social involvement or your social battery could fluctuate a lot. So the house of the moon is always subject to changes and shifts, which reflects the cyclical nature of the moon. So at times you might feel outgoing and extroverted, and then again you want to stay close to home and not see anybody and avoid interactions. So yeah, this is just how it is. But maybe this will be hard for your friends to understand. So communication is key here. If you feel like, oh wow, I need to be on my own, and maybe you can just communicate this a bit more to your friends if you don't already, so that they don't feel like you don't care anymore, because communication makes everything easier. Your mood will be very dependent on how comfortable you feel in regard to your social circle, and how attuned you are to your own aspirations and your own dreams. And you are very charming, very graceful. You are gentle and have a nurturing personality. So yeah, it definitely isn't difficult for you to make friends, only to keep them. That can be a bit more of a challenge. So maybe work on long-lasting bonds, and for this, communication is key. And then it's also okay to retreat a little bit. I think no good friend would ever mind that. It's only when they feel like you forgot about them. This is where they are hurt, and then it creates a little bit of a problem. And one example actually that I found, Martin Luther King had his Pisces Moon in the 11th house, which is the house also of dreams. And you definitely know his famous speech, "I have a dream," which is so telling. This is like Pisces Moon speaking. I thought that's very interesting. I love astrology. So yeah, all in all, Pisces Moon, 11th house, beautiful, warm soul. You can dedicate yourself to a cause or to a movement, and I think you can really achieve very beautiful things in this world, and I wish you all the best. Pisces Moon in the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of the collective unconscious. It's the house of spiritual evolution. It's the house of karma, and the subconscious mind. It rules our hidden or repressed emotions, our fears. It rules hospitals, prisons, spirituality, and psychic ability. So it rules hidden secluded spaces, and it also rules transcendence, so to speak. The moon here has the most difficulty in being openly expressed and understood. In the best case, you seek self-protection and balance through your spirituality. More negatively though, you might struggle with emotional sensitivity and find it very hard to express your emotions openly. So you might be out of touch with your emotions. You might be like a dreamy loner. The 12th house is the natural home of Pisces, so this will give you a double dose of Piscean energy, which can go both ways. You are a psychic sponge, and you pick up on the most subtle energies and expressions of those around you, even if you're not aware of it. your boundaries will be super, super duper porous, and maybe like you have none at all. You are very imaginative, you are very dreamy, elusive, and idealistic, and your subconscious processes affect you in a very, very profound way, more than others. The moon also represents our mother. So she might have been absent or very elusive, either mentally unstable or emotionally unavailable, or physically absent. But here it's really important to look at the aspects that your moon makes, because if you have beautiful aspects or like very easy aspects to your moon, then she might also have just been a very spiritually evolved person, and maybe she teached you about compassion, kindness, and God and spirituality. But if you receive stressful aspects to your moon, then this could really point to some problems. So yeah, in most cases then there are problems with the emotional nurturing that the Pisces moon in the 12th received. Maybe your mother wasn't able to provide the structure and the daily nurturing that you needed to feel safe as a child. Maybe she had deep-seated inner pain or trauma that maybe even she wasn't consciously aware of. But because of your super fine-tuned antennas, you picked up on it, and this made you feel insecure and unsafe because you were too young to process and accept her pain, and maybe even to even understand why you have this weird feeling. So you might have disassociated from your emotions to protect yourself, and now you might find it very hard to connect to yourself and thus to others as well. So yeah, you might not feel entirely at home in the physical world. So you should definitely watch out for destructive escapism, and definitely learn how to ground yourself, learn how to use creativity as an outlet and as a grounding technique, maybe even do some healing work, some somatic healing maybe, if you feel like something painful happened to you as a child, or you didn't feel mothered enough. But yeah, with this placement you have the potential to really discover spirituality and the other realm, and I think this is a beautiful placement if you know how to work it. Yeah, so treat it with care and treat yourself with care, and try to learn how to appreciate the mundane physical reality, and try to learn how to feel safe in here and feel fulfilled in here, because I think and also watch out for addictions. Watch out for addictions. This can happen easily for you. Yeah, but this is a beautiful placement, but you really need to take care of yourself. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Pisces Moon through the houses episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This would make me really happy, and it helps my channel and keeps me motivated. And I can't wait to make another video. If you have any requests, put it in the comment section below. And also maybe hop onto my Instagram, Spicy Scorpio Astrology, where I post memes that I created. And I'm very happy to have you here. I can't wait to make my next video, and I can't wait to see you there. And I wish you a lovely day, evening, or night, and I love you. Mwah.